Hello everyone, welcome to Skills Training. We are on week 5 of 8 and I am so excited because I just love this format. I love that you can catch the video whenever works for you live on this Facebook group. I love that that we're just doing it on Facebook and bringing back the algorithm. So if you will do me a favor, and whether you're watching live or on the replay, if you will comment and boost this video in the algorithm, that would just be such a huge blessing to me and a blessing to our team, because here's the cool thing. Facebook likes to show people things that are interesting and exciting, and the way that they know that it's interesting and exciting is if there are comments and hearts and interaction. So I really appreciate if you have time and make time to do that. I just want you to know I appreciate that. So hi Mom, hi Robin, and whoever else is hopping on. I can see that we have a few people on, but I can only see you two's names. So tonight we were talking about follow-up, and I'm really excited to hear how it went with presenting your products or opportunity to someone on your prospects list. I'm really excited to hear about that, so please feel free to put that in the comments and tell us how it went. How did it feel? Did you use things that you learned in this class? Hi Cindy, welcome. Okay, I want to start out with some statistics, and before you let these statistics mean anything, I'm going to share these statistics, and then we'll go into my philosophy on it. Okay, so this is follow-up in regards to sales. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a single prospect, 48% of people, so almost half of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then they stop. So 1/4 of salespeople make a second contact and then stop. 12% of people salespeople make 3 contacts and then stop. Hi Robin, helper. And 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 10%. So if you look at the income disclosure statement and you see that there are certain ranks that have a higher percentage of people in those ranks. For example, Star and Senior Star, I want to say, are around 95% of the entire Young Living brand partnership. 95% of Young Living's brand partnership are within those ranks, Star and Senior Star. So when I see that, 95%, that means that in order to be executive or above, and I'm pretty sure that's correct, I could be wrong on that. Thank you, Laura. If I'm wrong on that, or if let's just say I'm correct, that means if I want to be in the top 5% of our company, which I do, I want to be executive and above, then I want to do things that only 5% of people are willing to do. A few of those things include being able to share my story in a 1-minute version. Another thing is being able to and willing to teach a class. Another thing is being willing to invest in myself as a brand partner and attend events. Another thing would be being willing to get uncomfortable and go live on Facebook. These are some of the examples of things that only certain a much smaller percentage of people are going to be willing to do. So just keep that in your mind as I'm telling you these statistics. 2% of sales, which by the way, that's about silver, 3%. 2% of sales, we'll get to that in a second. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% of sales are made on the fourth contact. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. Now, here is what I find so interesting. If 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact, you may have heard this before, but I'm gonna share it in a different way, so hang with me. If 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact, and most people, including 48% of people, are never following up, what does that tell you about what's left on the table? So it's just something to think about. Now, the reason why, in the past I've used this example, I love this example, I love these statistics, but the reason why something about it today wasn't sitting with me quite as strong as it was the time before is because I recognize that these sales statistics are not from network marketing. They're not in our business. They're not in our industry. These statistics are coming from a lot of time real estate or solar sales or another sales, another business model, which typically looks like this. Somebody stumbles upon Zillow, they click, I'm interested in this house, and ding, 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 a real estate agent who's managing that gets a ping to their phone that says someone just clicked that they're interested. So that is a direct, they're interested. 48% of those real estate agents do not actually call that person back and give them information. The reason why this is different, in my opinion, is because a lot of times we are creating energy around what we are doing and we are inviting people to take a look. And so it's actually a much more qualified first invitation than a lot of these situations. Is that making sense so far? A lot of the times we know the people we're inviting to, we know the people we're bringing to a class, we know their needs, we know the people we're having coffee with to talk to them. So it's a much more qualified lead, if you will. And so, but when I read this, it still gets me that a lot of times it takes a lot of touches. This is the fundamental, and this is what these statistics are saying. A lot of times when people decide to actually pull out their wallet and give their credit card information or take the time to get online and put it in, it is not on the first exposure to the product that they're buying. A lot of times that takes time, right? They have to watch your stories. They have to see, what is this energy pill you're talking about? What is this, diffuser blend you're talking about? What is this natural lifestyle you're talking about? What is this ditching candles all about? And they have to watch that quite a few times in order to actually be making that step to actually come to an event or whatever it is, or actually make that transaction. So for us in our business, the application here is, in my opinion, to reframe how we consider follow-up. We are not sales agents calling people and saying, you said you were going to buy on Thursday, why didn't you buy? No, we are not. We don't run our businesses like that. We are authentic. We want to connect with people. We want to know what's going on with them. And we have a goal of education and understanding. So finding creative ways to stay in touch for us is our more authentic and comfortable and natural follow-up message. Now, if someone has been watching your stories, there's different kind of levels to how you would follow up with someone. So if someone's watching your stories and they're noticing and they're watching your video about Super Bee and they're like, that's cool, I'm interested, and they keep watching and they keep watching and they keep watching, those all count as touches. There becomes a moment, hi Jessica, hi Jen, hi Heather, and Heather, there's two Heathers. There comes a moment where that person who's clicking and watching and just kind of generally interested flips to being someone who is like, I'm actually wanting to do this, and they voice that. They come to education, they want to do that, and then they give a date or they say, I want to do that. At that point, I believe we can use the word follow-up instead of touches, because now the follow-up is intentional. The follow-up is premeditated. The follow-up is something that probably we said we were going to do, and we like to follow through with what we say we're going to do. When we say we're going to do something, we like to do it. Hey Beth and Diane. So here is the idea. When the prospect is at a place where they have not had enough education and understanding that they're ready to go and they voice that, then our goal for follow-up is simply touches. And touches are interactions that are meaningful. So how are you doing is a great touch. A comment on a post is a great touch. Drop a note in the mail is a great touch. Dropping a sample is a great touch. An invitation to a class is a great touch. Anything that's like a back and forth is a fantastic touch. And people who are successful in this business, most of the time, will tell you that is where the magic is. As many back and forths as possible, as less paragraphy, stale, I've put you into my CRM, my customer, system, less of that and more of back and forth and finding a need and offering that you might have something that might help them. Oh, really? You might? Yes, I might. Do you want me to tell you about it? Yes, I do. Awesome. Let me get you invited to a class. There's more of those back and forths instead of, here's all my information. here's my link to buy. Those don't typically seem to be well responded to because they're not authentic and they're not heartfelt. So if you are dealing with and helping someone who is just kind of generally interested, my preference for follow-up is less of an aggressive behavior and more of touches. How many touches can I get with them that are meaningful, impactful, inviting them to education and understanding? Now, a follow-up that's more about oils is like if someone says, I want to order this and I get paid on Friday, I'm going to do that then. Here is the magic for you. This is the biggest thing I can give to you right now. This is like the biggest solution, the biggest answer, the biggest thing that will take out all of the anxiety around follow-up is at the point that you hear someone give a specific date and time or a specific time that they are going to be making a purchase. You can save yourself future angst by doing this one thing, and I'm about to tell you right now. It is to confirm the appointment ahead of time. You're going to confirm the appointment ahead of time. So they say, awesome, I want this. I'm going to order on Friday. You don't say, great, let me know if you have any problems. You confirm the appointment, and that looks like this. Awesome, I will follow up with you on Friday. And then you put it in your calendar, or however you stay organized in your life. You don't rely on this machine. Don't rely on this machine. Because if you're working your business in a way that is going to be scalable, number one, and you are moving in an efficient, fast pace, you will not remember. You have life, you will have crazy busy situations and schedules and things come up in your business and all of it. You cannot rely on this machine. You have to have another machine that you rely on. I suggest a calendar app on your phone or a reminder or something like that. But confirming the appointment ahead of time takes the pressure off of you and it takes the pressure off of them. Because then all of a sudden you're saying, I will follow up with you on Friday and I'm going to be there to guide you. And so then when Friday comes around, it's no longer awkward. It's not uncomfortable. It's, hey, I said I was going to follow up with you on Friday, and now I'm just following through with what I said I was going to do, right? And so when you're following up, it can feel a little bit like you're gonna have this emotional intelligence that's telling you what to say. And at any point that you feel this, that feels uncomfortable, I say follow that. If you go on YouTube, you're going to find all these slick and sly people saying, you're going to have all these words to say, and I just don't follow that. I say find what is authentic to you in your heart, and then come to them with that. Hey, I don't want to make this uncomfortable for you, but I also want to follow through with what I said I was going to do, which is follow up with you on Friday. Can I help you walk through the ordering process while we're on the phone? Can I help you by doing it? We get together and do it for you, or whatever it is. But you can start off by saying, now, I don't want to be annoying, but I also want to make sure you get your products that you said you wanted. And if you can open up the door with your heart first, your business is going to be so much easier. There's going to be so much less emotional friction. At the same time, you have to know that the oils that they are getting are way more valuable than anything you're getting from this interaction. The $50 you get for their starter kit, and if they get on subscription and they order 100 PV every month, and you're making, we've done the math, right? After 12 years, you made over $1,000 just on that one enrollment. All of that's great, but let me tell you, if they experience oils like I've experienced oils, that's way more valuable than $1,000 over the next 12 years. That's way more valuable than the $50 that I'm getting from their starter kit. The value for them is so much greater. So why I'm thinking about myself in that interaction, don't know why I do that. If I go to that interaction thinking about them and I'm like, hey, they need these oils. They're having problems. They're living in a toxic world. They have low energy. They have headaches all the time. Their thyroid is feeling terrible. Their skin is not good. They don't feel good. They don't have drive. They don't have motivation. They don't have ambition. The toxic world that they're living in is burdening them down, and they need to make a big shift and bring some plants and natural things into their life in order to feel better. That's why you follow up. If you're thinking about yourself in the follow-up, it will always feel awkward, even if you use the authentic script that I gave you, right? the authentic script. Is that even a thing, an authentic script? It has to come from in here, and it has to be genuinely about them. And so when I think about the people that I'm following up with right now, that's what comes to my mind, because even before this class, I was thinking to myself, man, how do I follow up with so-and-so? And I didn't do that this week. And here I am about to teach a follow-up class, and I didn't follow up with a person that was supposed to order on Wednesday. And like, they told me they were going to order on Wednesday, and I don't want to make it awkward, but I want to reach out and all this stuff. And I'm like, hold on, who am I thinking about right now? If I'm all worried about how I'm coming across, I'm thinking about me. And that's not what I want to be doing in this business. I want to make sure I'm thinking about them. I hope you're following. All right, so here's the magic also. This is about your energy. Your energy as a person, a beautiful, whole, grounded person. What they say to you doesn't really matter. And you know that so strongly that the vibe you put out says, it doesn't really matter to me what you do. I'm coming to you for you. Because you treat your business like a CEO. And that means that when you say you're going to follow up on Friday, you follow up on Friday, right? Like, when you say you're going to follow up on Friday, and you do follow up on Friday, and when you say you're going to go live on Facebook and teach a class, and you do it, or you say you're going to be on time and you are, or whatever it is. Of course things come up, but most of the time, because you treat your business like a CEO, they have respect for you, and they can feel that energy from you. So when you follow up with them in a high energy way, I'm playing this Young Living business game. Like, watch me as I'm in the third and fourth quarter of this basketball game, and watch my hustle and grit. They are going to have something in them that cheers for you, especially if you present yourself as the person that I know you are, which is that you don't believe you have it, all together, you're perfect, but you're like, I'm going to do something amazing in this world and make a contribution. When they feel that energy from you, they will genuinely want to support you, and they will want to help you. And I don't think I've ever, other than with my mother-in-law, like the second month I was hitting silver, told someone that their order was going to affect my goal. And that's not a bad thing if that's authentic to what works for you. That's just never been something that worked, that I felt like was what I wanted to do. And so, but instead of that, people knew that I was going for a goal because of my energy. And I think that did contribute to that kind of like, I'm in with you, Bethany, like, let's do this energy. So they knew based on my energy, not necessarily what I was saying. And I mean, I've told people I was going for goals, of course. But right before I hit silver, I remember telling my mother-in-law, like, I actually need you to order like this amount so that we can hit silver. Like, and that I did do that with my mother-in-law, but that relationship held that, right? So anyway, okay. That was a tangent and not important. You can do that or you cannot do that. I've seen it done both ways very well. So it does not matter. Just disregard that part. Okay, so how often should you touch base? I think that if you can have conversations going kind of all the time, like keeping the conversation alive with people, where you never have to reach out and start a conversation, that is just ideal. It's like you have not responded to that text and then you wait it out a little bit. Maybe you wait like 3 days and then you respond and ask another question. Or you send a meme that reminds them of you, but just kind of playing Keepy Uppy. You guys play Keepy Uppy from Bluey with your kids? The Bluey is like the little dogs, and they're so cute. And so they've got these balloons, right? And they're like bumping the balloons up, and they try to keep all the balloons up. That's kind of the vision that I see for the touching base with people who have not ordered Young Living but say they want to, is like, let's just keep those conversations going as creatively as we can. This might require some like creativity that you have to get, but it'll be okay. That'll be fun. All right, so keep the conversation going. Talk about other things. Another thing you can do is update them on your life. Tell them the funny things that have happened. Invite them to a Wordle challenge. I'm like thinking through things that there's so many ways to stay in touch with people, and asking what they're doing for the weekend, or just being that friend that you are. Giving them compliments, things that are just really authentic. Okay, so here's the thing. You don't want to pressure anybody into anything, because if you try to do that, not only does it feel uncomfortable for all parties, but also it doesn't actually create a sustainable business. A sustainable business comes when people genuinely love the products, they love Young Living, they love the lifestyle, hi Lene, they love what we're doing, and there's like a natural kind of flow to their enrollment. The minute that they feel, and I think for me too, the minute that I feel like I'm just trying to like push something that's not supposed to happen, it just kind of feels not fun anymore. And so that's important to me. So for it to be sustainable business, there has to actually be that excitement and actually be that belief. How you have that is for that belief to be in yourself. Now, if you have a product guide or a desk reference or a book about essential oils, one of my favorite ways to get myself genuinely excited about oils, because I use them every day, but sometimes it's like almost being married, where it's like, yes, if you go out of town, like you come back and you're so ready to be back with that person, but like it's Tuesday afternoon and you've been together for a while. It's like, oh, hey, you know, you don't recognize or remember in that moment with that fiery passion what you have. But you go away for a second and then you come back and you're like, oh my gosh, I missed you so much. It's the same thing with oils. We're using oils all the time, but we don't always like put Tranquil on and remember like, man, I remember what it was like when I couldn't sleep very well. Like now it's just like gonna sleep great because I have my oils. So to keep lit up about that, sometimes it takes diving in and learning and growing more, just like in a relationship with your spouse, where you're like, oh my gosh, that was so interesting how they're learning and growing in that way. You find that genuine interest again. That's how you can wake up that passion. And with the oils, and that's what comes through. Now, here's my opinion on this topic, is that it is our responsibility as brand partners of Young Living, if we are holding a vision for ourselves, if we have a dream and a vision, and guys, we don't know why we have all these fruit flies and they're driving me batty. They're all over here. If we don't know, if we have a dream and a vision for a specific rank in Young Living, like if you've ever had that on your heart where you're like, I want silver so bad, or I want gold, and for me it's Royal Crown Diamond. I'm like, I've been given this gift of a desire. And I see that as a gift of a desire because plenty of people have been exposed to this business, seeing just the same things that I saw when I decided to go for Royal. The same exact things, but for some reason, the desire in me is there. And it's just almost palpable. I mean, it's just there. And so if you've been given that gift of vision, then I believe there's something greater for you. You know, I believe there's that for you in the future. I believe that desire is representative of something that's coming to you. And it is our job as dreamers of whatever it is that we're dreaming for. And I'd be curious, for those 13 of you who's watching live and whoever watches the replay, what is that for you? Because there's nothing that quite lights me up more than just seeing the vision and dreams and goals that people have. What is that? Oh my gosh, I want that type of rank for you, or whatever it is in Young Living. So tell me in the comments if you're here. But if that's there, I believe it's your responsibility, it's my responsibility towards Royal to stay lit up about that, and not let life get in the way. It's because being passionate and excited doesn't always just happen. It doesn't always just happen. It's a decision to get excited, just like in marriage. It's a decision to be excited and passionate. So that's my philosophy on it. Okay, so here's a few things. We're gonna say 3 points, okay? Number 1, set that appointment ahead of time, like I talked about before. Set that appointment ahead of time. Make it easy on yourself, less awkward. Number 2, follow through with your word. If you say you're gonna call on Friday at 4, call it Friday at 4. Okay, 3, oh, Lene, I'm touched. I love that. Getting 6 others to silver. I feel that in my body. And I feel all of y'all's, but I just love you guys. Okay, number 3, after that point where you followed up, go back to the focus being education and understanding. Invite, 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 invite. I'll share with you a very real example. I met with someone on Sunday who had an iTovi scan. They loved what they saw, and they were going to wait till Wednesday for payday. I have followed up, but now it is time to invite instead of say anything else. So I am going to create a class around what they're dealing with so that I can invite them to it. Because that gentle nudge of education and understanding, that gentle nudge of, hey, we want you to understand, we want you to be excited about this, not just make a purchase. We want them to be grabbing for their wallet, not like, I don't want to do this, but I said I would. So the invite. All right, so then you get it in your calendar and you invite. All right, so here is a philosophy for the last 5 minutes. I'll go through this and then we'll give homework and we'll be done. If you have questions, now's the moment. There's a philosophy in network marketing that I think is extremely powerful, which is around having specific themes of your weekday. And a lot of people use Friday as follow-up Friday. Follow-up Friday is like whenever you get to Friday, you follow up. And you look at your prospects list and everyone you've talked to, or everyone who's had education, everyone you've presented your product or product or service or opportunity to, like we talked about last week. And that's the day, Friday, where you reach back out and follow up. I love that because it's so simple. So you can do Thoughtful Thursday, reaching out to prospects, I'm just thinking about you. You could do Wellness Wednesday, educating on wellness. You could do, Team Tuesday, where you're reaching out to brand partners on Tuesday or people you want to be brand partners. And then you could do, let's say, I'm just making this stuff up. What's a missing hole in that structure? Like if you did Wellness Wednesday, you could invite all your customers to it. Let's say, Make It Happen Monday, where you get your whole list for the week and you schedule out your posts and you just I don't know, just making stuff up. But if you like that idea, put it in your calendar as Follow-Up Friday, and then just keep really good records of who you talk to so that you know you can go back and talk to them again. All right, so for your homework, you are going to follow up with 3 people that you have dropped the ball with. And I know this is like, wait, what? Like drop the ball with, like what? I haven't talked to them in a while. 3 people who at one point in time, and I'll tell you what to do if you never had this. 3 people that at one point in time said they wanted to get oils, but they never did. And instead of just following up, invite them to another class. Okay? So that's option number 1. I should have thought out this homework a little bit better because I'm kind of coming up with it on the fly. Just to be honest. Okay, so let's do option 1 is to follow up with 3 people you have dropped the ball with. Option number 2 is to follow up with 3 people who you've talked to this week about oils. And follow it in the way of, if they said they wanted a link and they wanted to buy it, then you can follow up and say, hey, let me know if you want, let's get on a call and I'll help you order it, or you can follow up with touches, whatever you want. But those are the 2 options, okay? 3 people you've dropped the ball with, or 3 people that have already committed that they want to do oils, or if they've just, talked about oils or whatever. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I'll write it out, be more clear. Sorry, I should have planned that ahead of time. I love it. I want everyone to experience the magic of these oils. I love that. Diamond, Royal Crown Diamond, Whitney, Platinum Retreat, but Diamond for sure. I can taste it. Yep. I love that, Diane. People don't care what you know until they know how much you care. So true. All right, friends. We are 2 minutes ahead of schedule, but I'm going to let you go because that's all I have for tonight. I will see you next week here, and I'm excited to see where we go. Let's do this. All right. Bye.